just realised Out of Dementia is incredible because if you cast the Kroxa and hold priority, and in response to his sacrifice trigger, you can just sacrifice it with Altar Dementia, and it's just, that's crazy. So you can even get 6 in your graveyard the first time you cast it. Oh, look at that. Yeah, screw you. You control Omnath. That's not cool. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the channel. If you've not been here before, then please don't go. I'm lonely and sad. I need your help, actually. I need a catchphrase or an intro or an outro message because I've noticed quite a lot of other people have one. So you've got the Professors, which is many Magic the Gathering players ask the question, or you've got Saffron Olive, probably better known as Saffron Olive. You know, I need something catchy, something zingy, something to remember me by, apart from just me, I suppose. So tell me in the comments below what you think my catchphrase. Tell me what you think my catchphrase should be, Master Wayne. Tell me below. And, yeah. Oh, this is what happens when you drink coffee. Too much coffee. But yeah, today's deck is a Kroxa, Titan of Death's Hunger. He's like a Teletubby. Instead of the TV in his belly, it's a giant chasm of hell. So the deck is looking to basically discard cards from your opponent's hand, and if they can't, they lose 3. I mean, that is one of the paths you can take with the deck, and we do support that with a few things. We've got Waste Not, so if they discard a card, you gain an advantage based on what they discard, and also Tiny Bones, so I'd definitely suggest putting those 2 in, which is really good. If you have the wildcard spare, go for Sangromancer too, because you'll gain 3. So Sangromancer says whenever they discard, you gain 3. Whenever a creature they control dies, you gain 3. The thing I see people do wrong with Kroxa is they'll cast it. I'm talking about Kroxa as a commander. They'll cast it and then they'll put it to the command zone, which is just stupid because then it costs 4 for it to just straight up die. And I think a lot of people don't realise that. I think they're just a bunch of silly billies. What I want to do is cast a Kroxa and leave him in the graveyard because this deck is a self-mill support strategy. So you want to have stuff like Stitcher's Supply, which mills yourself for 3 when he comes in or dies. I almost said Rotten Tomatoes there, but Rotten Reunion's good because it's got Flashback. Anything with Flashback's really good. Corpse Churn, mill 3, then you can return a creature card. So you could even return Kroxa with this. Where's that Egon? So Egon's great because for 1 mana, cast this on turn 1, and on your upkeep you mill a card. That's going to be really, really powerful. I don't see many people doing self-mill with Kroxa, which is interesting. There's loads of effects that just bin cards and let you draw cards, like Bitter Reunion's great because it can give a creature haste as well. Cathartic Reunion bins 2 to draw 3. This is basically 3 cards in the graveyard for 3 in your hand. Ogre Head Helm is fantastic. Whenever this is hits somebody, you can discard it. Sack it to discard your hand, draw 3. Cool little tech with this is if you reconfigure this to a creature, you sack the creature and you draw 3. You don't actually sack the Ogre Head Helm unless it attacks by himself. So this is actually really good, and I think it's a lot better than people think. So if you attach this to Kroxa, Kroxa was swinging for 6. They discard a card, lose 3 life. Then if you really want to, you can discard your hand and draw 3. You'd be desperate, you don't have to. You've got Altar of Dementia to sack creature, make somebody mill. We're going to target ourselves with this. We're never going to target our opponent with this, but it's just a really cool piece of tech. Because let's say they try and exile the Kroxa, yeah? We then go, no, we'll sack it and mill ourselves for 6, and then guess what? Next turn, we can cast him again, because we'll have 6 cards in our graveyard. So Altar of Dementia is a sick card for the deck. We've got some other spicy things like Demonic Embrace, give Kroxa flying. And then probably my favourite addition to the deck is the Mask of Griselbrand, because it will give Kroxa flying lifelink, which is ridiculous. You'll be getting 6, and then when he dies, you pay X life to equal to his power, and you can draw X. So that's just a silly billy card. And then another thing you might want to do is, because the deck has multiple layers, that's how I like to build my deck. Not just one theme, multiple themes. Ayara, when a creature comes in, drain them for 1. And then Body Launderer, whenever a creature dies, you connive. And then when Body Launderer dies, you can return another non-rogue creature with equal lesser power from your graveyard to the battlefield. So you can use this as like a one-off reanimator. Oh, and also you've got the Mishra with the Phyrexian Dragon Engine, because why not? Every Rakdos deck should probably have the meld option in there. It's just so good, and it'll probably just win the game out of nowhere. And a lovely Prosper as well, who's just awesome. You'll notice the curve stops at 4. I want to keep it very aggressive. Land count's at 40, so the land count is pretty high, but the rocks are down. So that's what you want to do with aggro decks, in my humble opinion. So that's why we only have 2 rocks and lots of lands, because aggro, you tend to want to have fewer rocks, because if you're an aggro deck and you draw a mana rock late game, you pretty much lost the game. Alright, so just keep that in mind. Anyway, usual stuff. Hope you enjoy the channel. As I said in the previous video, I'm currently looking for a job right now, so any donations is incredibly helpful. So I really appreciate everyone who's helped so far. Thank you so much. Anyone watching this far. Nobody normally watches this far. People normally skip to the gameplay. But if you're listening to this, I love you all. Thank you very much. And yeah, leave a like, a sub. Check out the donations details below. Kofi, Amazon, blah de blah. Let's get into the gameplay. Battle of the discard decks. Bolas versus Ravaging. Now, this is a strange one because although Bolas is terrifying, he will be helping us discard our cards, and that means we can get Kroxa out easily. Now, unless they've got discard effects, might not be so good for them. Let's start with the cost of Lock-Thwain because we don't want to lose this. This against a discard deck, a Lock-Thwain can literally just help you win. So let's go for the reunion here. We can get rid of a couple cards that we're not too bothered about losing. Oh wow, and the Phyrexian Arena. If we get to resolve this, we might be pretty safe. I'm always a bit scared versus Bolas because frankly I own the deck in paper and in digital, so I know exactly how powerful he can be. They probably have counter magic up though, so let's go for the Signet first to see if we can resolve that. So priorities being held. They could have a removal or a counter spell. So it's a negate, okay. Let's see if we can hit him with the old spicy dark ritual into arena. Oh, look at that. How sneaky was that, guys? Nobody expects that, do they? There comes the Bolas. We'll discard the Gutter Bones, I think. That's probably not going to help at this point. Oh, look at that. Look, we got the removal. Fantastic. So let's exile it before they get any more advantage. So they can keep casting that every 2 turns. But by then, hopefully our hand's probably empty. And as you can see, we've got stuff in our graveyard that we can still use, which is kind of cool. Oh, they've got Feed the Swarm. Okay, that's annoying. Lightning Bolt. They didn't hit a land drop, though. So we could just go for Kroxa. And then obviously leave them in the bin. Remember, you never want to send them to the command zone. It's very rare that you want to do that. If the opponent, by the way, has a ley line, the black ley line, which exiles your whole graveyard, you're pretty screwed. And I'd move on to the next game. But so we, yeah, decline that. Go for the Fable. So yeah, it's really weird counter logic. Against a discard deck, you want to zoom out your cards ASAP. Just get your cards out. Don't worry about it. They're going to discard them. You just can't worry about it. And that's why stuff like Phyrexian Arena is so important. Let's get rid of these two because they're just not going to help at this juncture. Neither are the 2 lands, to be honest, but I suppose it's a land, isn't it? So we'll swing in. Get ourselves a treasure. We've got 11 cards in the graveyard. You see what I mean about the discard? We can only get Kroxa out a couple times, so let's try and get him out now. And be careful not to get rid of the things you want to cast later on. Because otherwise you can screw yourself over. But yeah, it's really nice to have the option. Also, the Guard is really cool because it works really well if they have lost life, which Kroxa makes happen very easily. But yeah, I don't think I want to cast anything else because if they have an extinction event, they're going to get rid of all the evens. So we don't want to have too many evens. Although this is only 1 mana, isn't it? Normally. This is deceptive. This says 2, but it's 1 mana. So they literally had an extinction event. Okay. So this is the rare time when you want to put them into the command zone. Because otherwise you'll just lose them forever. Oh, let's exile something. Let's exile Creech. Sorry, exile up to 1 target card. So it doesn't matter what it is, we still get a zombie either way. I think we get rid of the extinction event. Just in case they get that back. Okay, we've also got Stitch of Supply, which is going to be awesome because it's going to help us mill. Yeah, and as you can see, we're just slowly whittling them down here. That's a treasure, so we can actually cast him again here. Oh no, wait, we need one more card in the graveyard. So, yeah, next turn we'll be able to. The Reflections of Kiki Jiki is going to be really, really cool with the Stitch of Supply here. Wow, we got yet another card. But yeah, what we're going to do, we're just going to attack, deal the 2 damage, because it's going to die anyway. And then if they do cast the Bolas, and then in response to the trigger, we can just Infernal Grasp the Bolas, and we should be safe. Because obviously if they get 7 mana, they're going to flip this, and things aren't going to be very good. Ugin, okay. That's interesting. I am ancient and wise. So we're definitely going to kill this because we want to be able to kill the Ugin in the next turn. So Ugin was a really good hit for them. So we need to be able to deal 5 to him. And this has haste, so that's perfectly fine. So we could even create a copy of this, can't we? That's pretty sick, actually. And then we can go 6 at the Ugin. And 1 at them. I'm really happy with that, actually. And we could even go for the Kroxa. Yeah, let's just do that. I mean, if they have a board wipe, they have a board wipe. Not much we can really do against that. Apart from recast the Kroxa. But remember, if Kroxa dies, the Stitch of Supply is going to mill 3. So this is the whole thing about Kroxa. You want to be consistently... Wow, a Time Warp. Now, that's a scary thought, isn't it? Whatever they have in their hand is better than a Time Warp. But to be fair, on an empty field, probably pretty useless anyway. So if they have something like a Ritual of Soot, that would just clear the field. Oh, absolutely. What a great game that was. Wow, it's a deck that I haven't seen for a long time. The Alchemy Ishkanar. So it could be a Spider's Tribal deck, but not entirely sure because this could also be like... So it's like self-mill, exile 2 cards from your graveyard, draft a card from Ishkanar's spell, but that's pretty cool if we could have that in this deck, but obviously we can't. So for now, I think we'll go for the Gut Bones. So if I was to choose the best time to go for the Kroxa, I'd say, unless you can do something else, I would always go a bit later because humans work by banking onto the cards I think are Haymakers, right? So if you wait until they only have 2 or 3 cards left, then the things you're going to be discarding are going to be greater in value. Saying that, we've got so many lands. Got no real way of really filling our graveyard. So I think we're just going to go for the boots and the gate for now. Yeah, we've been pretty unlucky really. We just need... Because if they ramp into this, we're going to really struggle getting through the spider. But Swiftfoot Boots plus Kroxa could be decent as well. Signet. Do they have a land drop? They do. Okay. Languish. This has got 5 toughness. So sadly, we don't have any other plays really. We could go for the gate. Oh no, we can't. We need 4. Okay, fine. We'll just go for the Kroxa then. Yeah, some games are just a bit unlucky. So, I would like to do something else first, but maybe we get something good. But at the same time, Ishkanar wants cards in the graveyard. So maybe we're just helping them a bit. But if they're just spiders, then that means the language is going to be great. Although the 5 toughness here... If they go for Ishkanar, we probably swing in, and then we can languish. Let's see what they do. Do they fall for the trap? Oh, that's fantastic, because we're going to get 2 for 1 here. I'm actually pretty happy about that. The only sad news is that the Kroxa might have to reanimate using the Gutter Bones, but I guess if that's our only option... Oh no, Bajuka Bog! Oh man, that sucks. Yeah, that's the bane of the deck. So if anyone Bajuka Bogs you, yeah, you're going to be in a world of pain there. Let's go for the Gate of the Black Dragon here, see what we get. Undead Butcher. Okay. So we're probably dead to the Vivian Monster's Advocate now. But yeah, I guess this game is a good example of what to look out for. Anything with Exile Graveyard effects will just annihilate. You know, like the Black Ley Line, this. There's loads of artifacts that do it. Relic of Progenitus. There's like a spear or a staff that does it as well. And yeah, we just didn't draw anything else, did we really? So, and then now they've got loads of blockers. Oh my goodness.
I brought friends. Lots of them.
Yeah, and this is the thing about Kroxa, like, unless you've got the support for it, he's kind of a dead card, so that is the risk of the deck. But as you saw, you know, in the previous game, that it, you know, the ceiling is pretty high. It's probably a lot better against control rather than aggro, because against control they've got... Oh, wow. Okay, so this comes in, we mill 3 cards. And... I guess we go for the Kroxa. Get rid of the last card in their hand. Which was actually an extinction event, so that would have hurt. It's funny though that in this game the best card they had was the Paducah Bog, which is just a common land, but fair enough. So when this dies, I can return a creature card from my graveyard to my hand, but don't think I want to do that. Yep, we're well and truly trounced here. It's funny because their gamer tag is Cider, which is just an acronym of spider. Interesting. Maybe they just always liked spiders. Yeah, so we'll block the 3 here, just to fill something in our graveyard. So if we get a card, if we top like a card that's like mill a bit or something, then we could go for the... Oh, okay. So we did actually top like a card that helps us get the Kroxa out here. So yeah, let's go for the Kroxa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And do we just die on our next turn? I think we probably do, actually. Give it the booties. Swing. Yeah, Haste and Kroxa works together super well. They can just chomp this all day long, though. Oh, they're gonna double block this. Okay, so they're gonna get rid of the Kroxa. Move to your command zone. Well, we've got literally no cards in our graveyard, so yeah, we're just gonna have to, sadly. Otherwise, we're just not gonna have any way to get them out anyway. So this is weird, but we kind of want an extinction event ourselves. Okay, they're just going to get any card from the top third. I think I'm going to have to call it, because this is basically Demonic Tutor. So they've put Demonic Tutor in the format, but they hide it under the guise of top third, which is still insane. Okay, Great Henge. There's not much we can do against this. Let's just see what our next card is. Flip a deck. Yeah, this Vivian changed the whole dynamic of the game. Because not only are they making infinite blockers, but they're also tutoring every couple turns. And, yeah, she's very powerful. Any creature-based strategy? Probably craft one of these.
Making new friends.
I'm actually going to weirdly sack this, because I want to just put a card in the graveyard, spending the mana. Down to 6. And it's a Thoughtseize. Cool, so they definitely got us there. Moving on to the next one. Okay, this is a pretty rough matchup because we have to face a Korvold which likes to sack stuff. And we have a really powerful hand apart from the fact that we don't have the mana. So we're going to mull this. Okay, that's weird. We've still got the Mox Amber. This is actually a pretty good hand, I have to say. Yep, definitely going to keep this. So the Thoughtseize, we're in a bit of trouble. Okay, fine. Riveteer's Outlook. They always get these. These new common lands are so crazy for Korvold because they can put all 5 of them in because they don't have a colour on them, which is a bit weird. But there you go. Let's go for the tiny bones here. And feign a spell with a Mox Amber. So next turn we could even go for Prosper, which is going to be really early. Or we could go for the Black Market Connections. Magda. Okay. I think I'm going to go for the Prosper because it can also block the Magda really well. But also, I don't actually care about losing Tiny Bones here. If they want to block, yeah, I thought as much. Signet, okay. Come on, fingers crossed. Please don't kill either of our things. So they've got all the mana they need. Fable. Everything they have creates treasures. That's wacky, that is. Okay, well, we're definitely going to go for the Signet because it gives us an extra thing. And if we go for the Kroxa, we get to draw a card at the end turn. So let's do that. I'm probably just going to go for the Duress as well. So there's a treasure deck, which is pretty cool. So leave them in the bin. Go for the Duress. Deadly Dispute, Unexpected Windfall. Oh my goodness. Go for this Dispute because the Windfall needs double red. Pass the turn. So we're actually doing pretty well. We're drawing like 2 to 3 cards per turn. Okay, that's good. We get a land finally. So if they attack with both, I'm probably going to block both, which gives them 2 treasures. So they can go for the Kroxa. They're probably just going to sacrifice one of them to... They're going to go for the Windfall. Wow. I've never felt this confident versus a Kroxa player in my life. They discarded a card as well, which means we draw another card. That's pretty crazy. That is pretty crazy. So we don't want them to get the Magda, so we're going to have to kill it. Because if they get 5 treasures, they can just get any artifact or dragon into play. Okay, thank goodness for that. That was starting to scare me a bit. Could go for the Embrace to give one of our things flying, but I think it's a bit early for that. I think for now we'll go for Black Market Connections. And then maybe Fable as well. If they've got a board wipe, it's going to be scary. Although, Zeatora, we want to be able to kill that, don't we? Yeah, let's just hold back. Yeah, so... Yeah, if they do go for the Zeatora, which is entirely possible because they've got 4, 5, 6, 7-ish mana, yeah, I'm going to be able to master it because this is just so powerful. It deals damage equal to the sacrificed creatures at Sushi. Okay. So this can clone non-legends. Right, let's see if we can resolve this. Exiling that's going to be important because they're not going to get any of the advantage here. I mean, it would not be nice to have this against some of their other stuff. Oh, fantastic. Beat a Korvold player. Korvold is so hard. I'm so happy to see them die like this. Opponent goes first. Is there going to be a tier 1 deck that we haven't faced today? Like, what the heck? Okay, good starting hand. It is a bit crazy. Like, just the sheer amount of ridiculously powerful decks we are facing. Get rid of this, and get rid of Chain of Edict, I think. I want to keep these 2 removal spells up because Yorion decks have a lot of flicker stuff. There's a lot of flicker creatures, or ETB creatures, should I say, that they can then flicker later on. And there's one of them. So I feel fairly confident in the arena, but they could have... There's so many ways they can just exile our permanents. Let's just get rid of this here. I don't want them to continuously get any advantage in any way, shape or form. Yeah, I mean, if you think about our current card advantage state right now, we're basically working with 9 cards, which is pretty awesome. Ooh, Tiny Bones. I think this could be an arena turn. Knowing my luck, they'll exile this. I don't feel very confident with this. Panamonican. Oh, Schnitzel. That's a very powerful card. Paducah Bog's also very powerful. So, I guess we'll go for Tiny Bones. And then I think we're going to leave up the Fatal Push. So if they go for Yorion, it's not a bad setup because obviously they would draw 2 cards, which is pretty good. Panamonican is just, oh, it's dirty. Anything they play now with an ETB, draw 2 cards. Golden Egg, draw 2 cards. And you'd play that, wouldn't you? For 2 mana. Crazy. This is going to be... We really need an artifact removal here. A Braid. Draw 2 more cards. Holy crap. Let's just kill this in response. As if. We are really going to struggle here. Swiftfoot Boots. What can we really do, you know? Let's go for the Kroxa. But to start somewhere. If they go for the Yorion, they're going to draw 4 more cards. Holy crap. God, imagine we had Panamonican in the deck. Yeah, we just don't, sadly. Just there's not that many like ETBs in the deck to really take advantage of this. How many cards in the graveyard? 3 pseudo decent ones. I think Padruka, it's not time for the bog yet. Let's go for the Faithless Looting. Let's draw some more things here. Get rid of a land. Get rid of, I think, Mox Amber. Okay. I do like Mox Amber. I like Gate of the Black Dragon. It gives you a card. Key to the Archive. Is that an ETB? That. It is. So they're going to get 2 cards from that. Holy crap. Oh my goodness. This is so scary. So essentially, we're looking for any form of artifact removal. Does anything in their deck not draw 2 cards? Goodness me. 7 in the graveyard. Oh, we get to draw a card again. Fantastic. Risk factor. Wow, we've drawn so many cards here. I mean, I would like a turn where we get to Swiftfoot Boots onto the Kroxa first. Let's go for Fable. Yeah, let's get the boots out, because we want to have a turn where we can get the Kroxa out and swing an attack. And then, do we need to Bajuka Bog now? I feel like I want to get a better hit than this. I also feel like they are setting up the most insane turns, because if they go for Yorion here, they're going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 extra cards. Warzone Duplicator. So, return a creature and put it powerless to his hand. And if it wasn't a token, conjure a duplicate of it in your hand. Wow, and an extra turn as well. This is a really powerful card. So it's a bounce effect, but then you steal their one of their best cards. So they've got a Tiny Bones in their hand now. As if they got a Time Warp. They're probably gonna have another Time Warp, aren't they? Target creature. So there's no other targets on the field currently. So when that comes in, he's going to draw lots and lots of cards. Oh my goodness. That's just silly, that is. They don't have infinite hand size. It's a real shame we don't have the Tiny Bones out, because they're going to have to discard. We could have drawn an extra card there. And they've got 4 mana open. I honestly don't think we can win this one. But it's interesting to see what people can do. I mean, Yorion's kind of boring, to be honest, because we know what it can do. We've seen it a lot, but I don't think Crux has represented that much, to be honest. So, see, this is what I mean. Paducah Bog now is going to be fantastic, because it's going to be able to get rid of everything they discard here. Whoa, there's a Farewell as well. Okay. And an Urza. Wowzers. Does that mean they've got Elspeth Conquers Death, maybe? Who knows? Loads of board wipes and a counter spell. Okay. 2 lands. That's really not what I wanted, to be honest. Let's get rid of... Yeah, let's get rid of those lands. That's cheeky. Come on. Give us something better than that. Okay, another land and a ramp spell. This is what I mean about ramp in this deck. Let's see if I can get the Kroxa out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They could just counter this. I think blue-white is probably the worst deck to face when you're trying to showcase a new card. Well, not a new card, but just a new deck. Tiny Bones. Try and give him the haste. Okay. So we still don't want to Bajouka Bog yet. Let's swing in. See what they do. Settle the wreckage. If they settle the wreckage, be funny. Counter spell. So what the heck are they waiting for then? Just gonna trade with the duplicator. Okay. That's fine. Because we'll be seeing him again later on. Tiny Bones? They could just counter this. No? What the heck have they got? If they discarded a counter spell, what on earth? I'm a bit confused here. I mean, yeah, they can draw cards all day long, but what exactly? Thassa. So they just want to draw lots of cards. That's fine. Because they're not... I mean, with these said cards... okay, that's not fine. So normally I'll say something like Paradox Engine is the worst. What's like the game-ending card with Yorion? Extra... They don't have 5 mana for an extra turn, though. I don't even know. I don't even know. I really wish I had Mask of Guzzlebrand out just to gain us some life with the Kroxa. But it's just too much mana to do that, I think. We need 6 for this, and then we need 4. Well, that's 10, right? So it's 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we're a little bit off. I wonder what they search for. I mean, Tiny Bones is going to get us a card, because they're going to have to discard after drawing. So they come on the next end step, but this is already the end step. Okay. So shields are down. Egon. I really want to Bajouka Bog their graveyard here. How many cards in graveyard? I've got 4, so it's not enough. Not enough. What do we do then? What do we do? We need to fill the graveyard. We're scarily close to getting killed. This can't do anything yet. This doesn't really do much. We can't get Kroxa. Very annoying. Well, what do we do? The Egon Death Touch. Exile 2 cards from your graveyard every upkeep. I mean, that means that Kroxa is going to be harder to get out. Let's go for Mask of Guzzlebrand. They could just counter this straight up. Counter spell. Is that the second counter spell? Is that 2 counter spells? That's from the yeah. Okay. Let's go for Throne of Death. That fills the graveyard a bit. And we could just go for the Pitiless Plunderer. So they board wipe. We'll get some treasures. Okay, well. So, let's see how they kill us then. There's multiple ways here. I suppose 1 extra turn would just do it, which is the most boring way. Yeah, an extra turn spell will be fine, because then they just swing for 8, and then in our turn we lose to the Phyrexian Arena. Also, they discard here with the key, so we draw with the bones again. They've drawn a lot of cards here. What's confusing is, if you can't win with a Demonic Tutor, what the heck is in their deck? Yep, so it's going to be the boring old extra turns. Damn. I do apologise, viewers. I do attempt to try and give you some great gameplay, but sometimes you just face... I mean, that's weird, because that would have actually killed me. They literally got rid of the one thing that would have assured my death. Unless I've got an extra time warp. Yep, I think I'm going to call this quits, because if they've just got another time warp, they're just going to loop. They're going to Elspeth Conquer's death, everything else. Yeah, nothing we can do. Yeah, that's a shame. There was a moment we had a chance, but then they drew like 30 cards. Yeah, screw this. Okay, opponent goes first with Omnath. Team Elementals deck, very powerful. We've got a very nice starting hand here. Probably want to go for the gate to tumble down first. Although everything's a 1-drop or 2-drop, so maybe we go for Stitch's Supplier. Yeah, I think actually that's probably best. Stitch's Supplier first. And then next turn, probably the Waste Knot. And then after that, the Kroxa. They've mulliganed. He'll keep this. Yeah, because we don't have a 3-drop, it doesn't really matter about this too much. And yeah, this is just a really powerful card. It's a good body, comes in, mills. That's already half of what Kroxa needs to get out, so, or more than half in fact. Swinging for 1. They could have counter spells, which is a bit annoying, because it could be like a, could be more like a control-y build. Because we've got double blue open here. As if they've got negates in a creature-based deck like this. Yeah, I don't like these kind of decks because they belie the commander. This one cares about elementals, but some people just build it as control, which is kind of just like... It really does just kind of suck, to be honest. Let's just try and hit him for some damage then. It really does belie the spirit of the game as well. Like, okay, you're going to choose a tribal commander? Control build. I mean, it's not even that it's that different, because I've seen this before. People are using it for the landfall, obviously. Fine, I'll give Kroxa the cantrip. We'll just leave it in the bin. Memory lapse. Okay, leave it on the library. Sure. They think they're so clever, don't they? Memory lapse. That's actually pretty powerful against a graveyard deck, because it puts it in the one place you really do not want to see it. Here comes Omnath, so they're just going to kill the Stitcher's Supply, but the joke's on them because we've got Fatal Push. And it actually mills the Kroxa. So to be honest, that kind of... It kind of worked out. Especially having the Fatal Push, so now they won't get any counters. Yeah, screw you, you son of a gun. And now we can just go for Kroxa if we want to. As long as, well, we don't have the mana, do we? Okay, we've got the mana. Yeah, let's go for Kroxa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it actually worked out incredibly well, like, especially if we get the Altar of Dementia next turn. We can just do the old fuel your own graveyard trick with the Kroxa if they ever target it with anything. They're probably going to exile Kroxa here now, aren't they? Solve the equation. So now they could get something like exile creature effect, bounce, destroy. Extra turn is what people normally love because they're just rubbish at the game and they can't win unless they get extra turn. I do think that, you know, people that use extra turn spells, or just a deck full of extra turn spells, obviously so scared they're going to lose that they have to go for the extra turn. Let's go for the ogre-headed helm here. Oh, I've just realised Altar of Dementia is incredible because if you cast the Kroxa and hold priority, and in response to his sacrifice trigger, you can just sacrifice it with Altar of Dementia, and it's just, that's crazy. So you can even get 6 in your graveyard the first time you cast it. Oh, look at that. Yeah, screw you. You control Omnath. That's not cool.
Did you know that you can help my channel by watching another one of my videos? Go ahead, you know you want to.